What's up, guys? We're going to take a look at Balin's Tomb today, which is a map I'm very excited to share with you. This is an old map from 2002-2003 era, when I was 12 or so, and so was this guy, Mr. Music. Everyone that plays Warcraft now is generally in their 30s, that joins this map at least. Lots of nostalgia for it, lots of fun that we have. I have updated this map myself. I found the old one on epicwar.com, and it was much more bare bones. It did not hold up to the nostalgia glasses that I had on. So I reforged it for Reforged. We're now in version 5.1, and I'm trying to get through a playthrough of this map. I have added a little bit more to the end of it. I have embellished the middle of it and updated and balanced the skills and abilities. I have balanced the items. It is a fun map, in my opinion. I'm the one that updated. I've spent hours and days updating this thing. And it's really the biggest struggle sometimes is getting a group together to play because you need 9 people. It's a fellowship. I tend to close some of the slots. Red is Boromir, you can see. Blue is Aragorn. Teal is Gandalf. Purple is Frodo. Yellow is Sam. Orange is Gimli. Green is Legolas. Gray is Pippin. Light blue is Merry. Pippin is kind of the least useful of the fellowship. You can get by without having Pippin. Sam is quite useful, but you can get by if you need to without having Sam as well. Sometimes people like playing Pippin because it's low stress. We don't need you too much. You can just kind of mess around. All right. I let the beautiful horns play before I started talking. Here we are. We're in the game. We've already got Gandalf attacking Boromir. This is very typical. If you read the books, you would know that happened. Balin's Tomb, Gandalf just goes rogue and starts firing fireballs wildly. Oh no, he misclicked. He just misclicked. Okay. All right, let's check out some of these items you can buy. There is a wave coming, which you can see they are coming, so we have to hurry before the orcs get here. Here are some books. You can buy them. They don't take up inventory spaces. They just give you stats. I'm going to buy some strength to start out. Here is some armor you can buy. I have some clever descriptions written in for them, which you can read when you play the game, but the orcs are coming. These guys are fighting a bookshelf. I don't know if we're prepared for this. I'm just going to go get ready. All right, here come the goblins, which are not orcs. They are actually goblins. I misspoke. I'm going to throw down a storm bolt onto them, and then I am going to quickly remind my allies to do the same. If you just auto-attack and don't use your abilities, you cannot kill them fast enough. There's a mana fountain just to the south, so you can easily get your mana back. There's no real reason to save and hold on to your abilities here. Blue is very intent on destroying that bookshelf. I don't know what he has against it. I know he thinks it's a secret, and it is a secret. Basically, if you kill the bookshelf as Gandalf, you get a Tome of Power. That's a little spoiler. I'm going to just take out Sam because he's not playing. A little stab in the back from Boromir. He takes experience if you do. So I'm show you these items again real quick while the wave is coming. Basically, you want to buy the non-elven armor, not the chimes. I don't know if the chimes are worth it. It says, are they worth it? I guess we'll find out at some point. Good. Aragorn is using his roar. Gandalf luckily got the last hit by accident. So they were able to get the Tome of Power. If someone else had gotten the last hit, they wouldn't have been able to. I usually use Gandalf's Flame Strike to get the job done. So these black goblins or orcs, whatever they are a bit stronger. I think those are the orcs, actually. So I will try to use my Storm Bolt, which I think is just called Weapon Throw in this game, on the black ones, is they have got a little bit more health, so that'll help my team a little bit more. I'm also leveling up Cleave, because it's just simply better for destroying waves of small guys. I do 100 damage, 97 to 111. And here come the archers. This is generally one of the hardest parts of the game, is just getting the ranged heroes to fight the archers. They do a ton of damage, so if I run up to them, I'm just going to lose all my health. All right, Legolas is going. He's being a bro. Even though it's a girl in this game, that's the closest thing we have to the archers. You can see he's taking a ton of poison damage over time. We're going to keep fighting the main wave, and then Legolas, basically the best strategy is to ignore the main wave as Legolas, park up there. Yeah, they give a lot of experience. Purple knows. Apparently Purple's played this before. Always happy to see that as someone that is revitalizing an old map that not many people play. When I host this map, I search sometimes to see if there's another lobby open, and there's usually not. So I'm really happy to see that he's played before. So these goblin commanders, they are the red ones with what looks like vampiric aura underneath them. They do a ton of damage. Pippin just got one shot, unfortunately. I'm going to grab some more strength. The non-elven armor is probably the best thing to buy on everybody except Boromir. It will help you survive attacks from the goblin commanders. But Boromir starts with the golden belt that gives him plus 15 armor. And armor stacking is not as good as armor plus strength. The more you get of something proportionately, the less it helps you for each piece of armor. You can see I checked real quick to see if Pippin left. Sometimes when people die, they leave. This is not looking too good, so I'll check if people leave. Generally, if a lot of people have left, I remake, but I like to carry people on to the next game, so I will not leave the game myself until other people are ready to join the remake and they've given up. But yeah, this is over. Boromir has fallen. Legolas is not doing great. The Fellowship has failed. Don't worry, though. It's not over. We're going to try again. If Frodo dies, you lose, or everybody might just leave. I'm going to throw in the cheat code for Gimli that plays us a nice little voice line. I'm going to try and get us to go on easy mode because we lost so horribly last time. We did not get very far. If you look at the mini-map on the bottom left, we didn't even get out of the starting area. There are 10 waves in the beginning, and I think we got to wave 5, and then there's a decent amount of more game after that. Let's see if he'll do it. It is 5 characters. Can he type -easy? Oh, after Legolas says orcs, it doesn't work anymore. So you might have noticed that I typed in this cheat code. You might think that is cheating. I call it a cheat code, which leads you to believe also that I think it's cheating, but it's not really cheating. A lot of the times in the beginning of this game, people will kind of role play, or they will say lines that they remember from the book, and it's not totally out of the question that Gimli might say, "and my axe." A lot of the time people will say, "and my sword," "and my axe." It's just not always the right character. I don't think I've actually seen anybody successfully use this code, but the first time that it happens will be awesome for the person that does it. And what that does is, oh, Pippin is gone. Again. He was not one shot. He just was not really paying much attention. The goblins do a lot of damage. They look like they're the first enemy. They're very small, but if you get surrounded like Boromir is right now, you can go down pretty fast, especially if nobody heals you. Pippin also has this item, the bottomless lembas bread, which is kind of like the potion in the game. I have one of them. Pippin's is infinite, so he could have also pressed that to heal himself. So as I was about to tell you, the "and my axe" code gives you a axe that you can throw. I already have the throwing weapon skill, which is the same thing that Boromir has, which is my Q. The axe is a T, and it allows Gimli to participate in killing those archers that did all that poison damage. So if I remember that I did that, I will help out Legolas. I was trying to make this game a bit easier. He didn't do easy mode, but if I can take care of the archers. Okay, so Pippin and Sam are fighting in hell right now. That was not part of the books either. But I added that because dying was kind of boring. There is a part where you can revive, but I wanted to give people something to do while they waited. There we go. I took out one of the correct goblins / orcs. And that Frodo's Windwalk does 1,000 damage, which if this was PvP, it would be overpowered. But it's just enough to take out one of the black ones in the beginning in this game. So Gray thinks he's gone forever, but after these 10 waves that I told you about, we will be able to revive Gray, and all we have to do is move forward and keep hitting stuff, and that'll happen. And you will see how. If anybody watching this did play Balin's Tomb when they were a kid, you know exactly what is coming next. It is, in my mind, in my memory, the part that stuck out the most, the terrifying part of Balin's Tomb that as a 12-year-old made me really afraid to play the game, afraid of people doing the wrong thing in the game. I'm not going to say it's a scary game. It wasn't, even as a 12-year-old, which is not too young. But it gives you pause when someone starts walking in the forward direction. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit later. Gray's having a good time in hell, though. He's fighting Sam. He's getting experience from the lever. Yeah. That's another benefit of having the levers go there. Instead of just your hero is gone and you are going to revive with at a disadvantage compared to the rest of us, you can kind of keep playing. It's not as fun as the regular game. It's not dynamic. It can be fun. I mean, Gray's having a good time. Once you've done it enough times, though, you really want to avoid dying. Not only does it become more fun to be alive, you are helping out the Fellowship. You are progressing, as you saw in the first game. There's my non-elven armor. Now I've got 4,000 health because Gimli has naturally high strength gain, and I have 15 armor, and they will combine to make me able to take a few hits from the red guy. And I've been forgetting this secret every time. In the beginning, you can get that box right away. No one else has noticed it. This is my stock response whenever somebody asks that question. Is it worth it? And nobody likes that I have labeled them that way, but I gotta do some things for me. So Gandalf is covering us with this frost armor, which gives an additional 5 armor and slows their attack. So you can see even with the red ones that do a ton of damage, I am surviving just fine. The archers are bearing down on us. You can see in the mini-map there's a little circle that's revealed. You can tell when they come out the first time because that circle is not there at the beginning of the game. So I could go and use my axe to take care of some of those archers, but I forgot to do it this entire game. So there are a buildup of archers. They don't go away. So I'm going to clear out these red skeletons first. This is the last wave. This is wave 10. You can see I finally remember my my T and use it to take out one of them. It only does 50 damage, so it only works if they have a tiny sliver of health like that one just did. Okay. It is time. I have to prep the troops. People don't know how to play this game except for that one guy. Here are the tips. Legolas, just have Windwalk ready. Attack as much as he can. Press Q if you're about to die. Gandalf can try to use Flame Strike on them. It's a little bit tricky because there's a cast time. He's a bit frail if the archers start hitting him. Also, he doesn't have Windwalk. So someone has to heal him. He can heal himself. Merry can heal him. But it's a bit risky for Gandalf. Merry also has a ranged attack. He throws alcohol bottles in this game. And we got some healing. The poison actually can't kill you, as you may have noticed from when Legolas has been running with, yeah, very low health. He's not in danger of dying. It only will bring you down to 1. So if Pippin has a little bit of patience, we can move on after we kill the archers. You actually don't have to. You can just run past them. But they give a lot of gold and experience. And they can shoot you as you're walking past. And yeah, basically anything one-shots them. So I am tanky enough that even with all of this poison, I'm able to just kind of sit here a bit. I can see on the mini-map the healers are behind me. I'm getting to half. I leveled up, which is really nice. The healers are not close enough to me. Okay, there we go. Merry has given me his chain healing, which brought me to full. Heals are very powerful in this game. They will generally bring you to full health. But as you can see, it's still possible to lose. There is a cooldown on them. But I do appreciate his heals. I've got to prep Gray now to come back. He's got to spend all of his gold, and so does everybody else. And you will see why in just a second. And Sam will stop giving us that notification that he has fallen. Actually, I didn't spend all my gold. It is hard to do a few things at once, but now I did. Yeah, there's no more gold until we move on. Here we go. This is the part that haunts your nightmares as a child. It is the troll. It is the troll, and Aragorn has sent out his ultimate, the Dead Man of Dunharrow, which are footmen that run around just like they did in the movie, kind of. I tried to get pretty close. Gandalf has used his ultimate, the Phoenix. Merry has used his ultimate, Big Bad Voodoo, which I think is called Protect Allies or something like that in this game. His ultimate was completely unnecessary. We had already defeated everything over there. It is channeling, so you can't move, so that was not a great move from Merry. It's quite useful down in this part, but that's okay. I'm going to throw down my ultimate, which is Avatar. And yeah, we decimated that troll. Gandalf did not bring his Phoenix over, which is not helping as well. But it should help in a little bit, as you'll see. But yeah, the troll was no worry for our prepared group. If you don't buy armor, if you don't buy strength, if Legolas goes pure agility, Gandalf goes pure intelligence, you can lose at that part. It is not generally the toughest part of the map, but it's one of my favorites. Everyone gets teleported, everyone gets revived. The more that you hit the troll, and here's another trap, when you walk forward, you get surrounded on all sides. But yeah, the more that you hit the troll, the more that he roars. And that was in the original game. I think it was a trigger error, and I just kind of kept it in, made it not an error, made it just how it worked. And here we got some archers spawning behind us as we got trapped in the middle. I need to just war stomp like crazy. Why didn't you warn us? Well, it's no fun if I tell you everything. I'm going to get 1 point of cleave, and now I can destroy all those archers in one hit with my 600 damage. So these guys came from behind. The Phoenix saved us from them before without even knowing what it was doing. But every few seconds, I think it's like 30, 45 seconds, something like that, these giant ogres come from behind. And they are the toughest enemy for a while. Those giant rocks have bash attached. They can stun you. They do a lot of damage when they bash. They come with a goblin commander, which gives the melee guys lifesteal, increases their armor. So that's very relevant for Windwalk, because Windwalk is physical damage. And my cat is here. You might see her poking around. Oh, she is very interested in the ogres. But yeah, that is relevant for Windwalk, not for Stormbolt. So level 3 Stormbolt can take out the ogre no matter what. But Windwalk doesn't take out an ogre if the goblin commander is still around. If the armor is applied to the ogre, Windwalk will only do like 80% of their health. So I'm going to be a one-man army taking out the back line. You'll see as I play that I am a one-man army a lot of the time. If you guys work together, this game is really not that tough, but it's hard to get 9 people to know what they're doing, and I just pop that lever down there. You'll see what that does in a sec. So I cleared up the back line because if you don't, those ogres that come every 30 seconds will pile up, and that is even worse than the archers piling up. The archers do poison damage. It doesn't kill you. It's really bad. But the stun, if you get stun locked, you are simply dead. So that lever allowed me to break this boulder to get into this secret area that has a mana fountain. And again, it's kind of cheating to know the secrets, but I have beaten this without the secret so many times. It's just a kind of convenience thing. I wanted to make sure we got farther for the video to not waste your guys' time and to not waste my time in the night. I enjoy playing the game, but I wanted to kind of get this out. So I did the mana fountain, and a lot of the times if you go to the mana fountain, you actually will lose because the pileup of ogres that you are not killing as you do the mana fountain will come in there and just stun lock you and defeat you. In this case, it was helpful for me. I'm Gimli. I knew I needed mana. I had full health. So I asked Frodo if he had Avatar because most of them are dead. Red thinks he is getting gold for just being dead, but he's getting it from the shared gold from us defeating these enemies. There's a few more ogres coming from behind us. We should be okay. Yeah, Frodo is in Avatar form. He's got full health. Merry is healing us. It is time to move along. I've got a little bit of Avatar left, but not a ton. There is a final wave, and Frodo's Avatar is probably going to run out at the same time that mine does. Mine has just run out. His has just run out. They are stunned for 5 seconds. There's another wave coming behind us. We gotta heal. My cooldown on my War Stomp wasn't enough, and Frodo was destroyed. I truly believe that if Frodo had his finger on Q, we would have gotten out of there. The ogres were at half health. Just a few more Windwalks. Maybe I would have died as Gimli anyway, but Frodo can definitely carry at that point. He had to one-man army it a little bit more. There were only like 8 ogres left, but that's okay. Let me show you how we do this secret right at the start of the map. We just flame strike it. This run is a loss. It is a very quick loss. I wanted to give you guys one night of Balin's Tomb in order. This group is the group that I've been playing with. Some people leave, some people come back. I think we have 2 or 3 people that came back from last game, but now I'm trying Gandalf, and this is our next run. I'm going to speed through it to save you some time. So that was a pretty pathetic loss. I feel like I've made the game look kind of easy so far because I have played before. In fact, I have made a lot of the stuff in the map. Skull Shield, that is a great pickup from that chest. That's kind of what you like to see in the beginning. But it is possible to die early on. So here we go with Battle Cry. It does 100. It gives 100 damage to everyone around me. Let's see if he types easy. Grub Grub. Grub Grub was telling me in the waiting room that he's a Grubby fan, and I am as well, so we've connected a bit. He was there in the last game as well. And he's very gung-ho. He's playing Frodo, but he doesn't want to go easy mode. So I'm giving him a hard time. I'm saying you better join the ones after this because I want to get through it. And he's on board. So I've just given 100 damage to everyone in the Fellowship. So if I hit 6 people with it, because half of them aren't paying attention, that's 600 damage every second or so when they attack. So Aragorn is key to the early game. If you have an Aragorn that gets passives first, you're generally going to have a bad time. He's one of the most important people to pick his active on. And we can speed through some of this, as you have seen this part already. The Aragorn early game is a bit different from the others, but let us go forward a bit. All right, let's pick it up here. I'm level 9 already. You can see we've gotten through a lot of the Tunnel of Death underneath there. I think the trap has already been sprung. The archers aren't going to come behind us. Yeah, I've got my ult up again, so it's been at least 3 minutes. Now, this guy's ult does a good amount of damage. It heals him as they return, and it can actually take out those ogres in the back too. So Aragorn, if you have a good one, can carry you a decent amount. Like Warstomp from Gimli couldn't hit the ogres in the back while there were those bristle boars in the front, but he can go straight for him. And now we're seeing the gate being broken down for the first time. That stops the spawn of the ogres behind. There's probably one coming anyway. And the first thing you do when you get here is a Balin's Helm, no matter what. Gives you 90 armor. And a lot of the times you also want to get those dragon chimes as well. So I'm evaluating if I want to get anything else. If I had another 5,000, I might get that elven armor. And here's that last wave. So after this, no more will spawn. I have a healing fountain right there, so I'm not worried about blasting Roar out. Gonna get some agility. I have 240 strength and agility, so it's not gonna make a ton of difference at this stage if I get a few more of either one. We have some dead allies that we can revive in a little bit, and you will see where. This is the approach. I'm going to be a little cheesy about it. I don't think Aragorn was there during the Balrog fight, or he at least didn't focus on it, but I'm not playing Gandalf, so I can't throw out his famous line. But this is the Balrog. This is... If you go back to the original... Yeah, this map actually, now that I'm thinking about it, was made in 2002. If you go back to the original ROC version of it, that whole green part of the map wasn't there. So this... Oh, thank you, Purple, for saying it, despite the fact you are not Gandalf. Thank you very much. So this map is a riff off of Balin's Tomb with Forest Fight. The original one was just called Balin's Tomb. And that was the end of the map. You killed the Balrog, you went home, that was the hardest part. Balin's Tomb with Forest Fight took you through this little cave to the forest. And I forgot about that for a while, but now I'm remembering the history. I remember when Balin's Tomb with Forest Fight came out, I was like, wow, there's a whole nother boss. And again, if you've played before, you probably know who it is. There's a desync, and Frodo is dead. Okay. Now, full disclosure, there is one game that happened that I did not put up on this video. This guy's doing 2002 mode. But yeah, the last game was just super short. I played Gandalf again. We didn't do too well. You kind of have to refresh the... when you get fresh recruits, you have to teach them all over again. That one guy, Grub, is still here, but the group did not really know what to do, so we lost pretty quickly. And I actually died as Gandalf in the beginning, so even I can die in the beginning part. I think I was typing a lot and trying to teach them things. There's my Tome of Power. So yeah, when I'm typing, sometimes I will get hit by a stray red skeleton or whatever it might be. So these are his skills: Light of the Mare and Istari Ward. I just call them Holy Light and Frost Nova, but I did rename them Lord of the Rings stuff for this map, for the most part. And I got Flame Strike first because Flame Strike has a long cooldown. It has like 45 seconds of cooldown. So you want to throw it down on that bookshelf in the beginning so that you don't need your Flame Strike cooldown for the waves later on, even though technically it gives you less experience if you get the Tome of Power early. Yeah, see, 45 seconds. So this guy did 2002 mode, which I'll come back to now. It makes individual gold gain. If you don't kill something, you don't get any bounty for it. You can see I still have only 380 gold. And Flame Strike is by no means a, wave destroying spell. It generally damages a lot of things. It can destroy an entire wave, especially at higher levels, but right now I am not getting every kill. The gold gain is generally doubled for each creature, but it only goes to one person. So there is less gold overall in the game. But at the same time, the tomes are cheaper. There was another Balin's Tomb map from back in the day. It was Balin's Tome with Forest Fight, and then Balin's Tome with cheap tomes. Balin's Tomb with cheap tomes. And so everything is worth double for individual people. There I got 20 gold. It actually puts a marker when you get it in this mode. And also the tomes are twice as cheap. So for the person who is in the lead, they will be pulling out way ahead. And now, see, I said this was risky, but if you know on wave 4, the archers come, you can sit there with Gandalf and nuke all of them before they spread out. My auto cast Frost Armor kind of messed that up, but I did get 500 gold and I got healed. That went quite well. So I'm pretty happy about that. Overall, I'm getting way less gold than I usually would. And since tomes are better, I think I'm going to be spending it on tomes instead of armor. Normally, I would save up and get the non-elven armor. But since the tomes are so much cheaper, regardless of the fact that the armor is generally better, I might just go for the strength. And we're going to watch the beginning of this game again because 2002 mode is very different from normal. And also, this is the first time that I've played 2002 mode with other people. I've never really tested it. That was a miss. I made the mode and didn't seem like people really liked individual gold gain. I agree with that. I think that shared gold is kind of just a research, it's a technological improvement compared to the way that it used to be. But it is fun to try new things, especially when you've been playing this all night, as some of these folks have been with me. So I got 1 point in Holy Light, which heals about 1,000 at level 1, which is pretty good, and 1 point in Frost Armor to slow the enemies down. Gandalf, I think, requires some more thought than some of the other characters. There's an argument to go full Holy Light in the beginning. There's an argument to go full Frost Armor in the beginning. The amount of armor Frost Armor gives you increases up a lot. I think it's to like 125 or something. And Holy Light at level 3 heals like 22,000 health. Because once you get tomes, you need that much to heal a significant amount. But if you get it early, you continuously heal people to full. Something I didn't really consider in this game is that I might need a higher level Holy Light because people are buying a lot more strength with the cheaper tomes. So my level 1 Holy Light, which normally would heal people to max for a while, is not quite doing the job as it used to in the normal mode. And we do pretty well here. There I'm spending my gold on some strength. So let's skip ahead a little bit to the next section. So I've brought us back post-troll Gimli is stuck in this area that I had mentioned a bit ago. Sometimes if you go in here, it's worse than not going into this secret area. In fact, I told them usually it is a bad idea, which is true. There was that one time as Gimli where I just needed mana, everything was fine. It was a good idea. Green's got my back. It's not a mine, it's a tomb. That's probably from the movie or book. I don't remember that part, but it sounds like it. So here's how good the Phoenix is. He will tank for us. You can heal him. Mary is healing him. 250, 250. You do get a little more dopamine in this mode as you see the insane amounts of gold you get from all of the monsters dying that you defeat yourself. So those would have been worth 125 normally to everyone in the party, but in this mode they are worth 250 just to me. And the Phoenix is out there doing everything for me. So talking about one-man armies, you've seen me do it as Gimli, you've seen me do it as Aragorn. If you heal your Phoenix, which I'm about to lose it, if you put your Phoenix in a good spot, he can basically carry the encounter. So you can only imagine if you have an Aragorn doing it at the right time, maybe staggering your ultimates, so that when one is on cooldown, the other guy does his. That was good. They were prepared for the archers. They were not trapped. Someone, I think Mary Wind walked ahead to pop them, which I consider to be not as fun. I never warn people about that because I find it to be more fun when we're all trapped and we gotta fight our way out. But yeah, I've got 85 seconds left on Phoenix, 32 seconds left on Flame Strike, so I am just a healer right now. I'm giving people armor and healing them. I leveled up my Holy Light because people have so much strength, as I mentioned before, that you really need that level 2 in this situation. Sometimes you can get by with just level 1 for a bit longer. I still say care from behind because even though the archers are not going to pop open, those ogres every 30 seconds, as in the first game or second game, are what get you. And people get very close to dying very frequently. That time, actually, I canceled my Flame Strike, or I got stunned. I didn't really notice. But my Flame Strike didn't go off. I was trying to get the ogres back there. Everyone's at relatively high health, except for Gimli, who died only because they went to that mana fountain. Now, if you go back there, you'll find that there are some treasures if you keep walking forward past the mana fountain, but it's just never worth it. Aragorn. My heal was on cooldown. I'm safe. I almost blamed myself, but my heal was simply on cooldown. But yeah, the dwarves delved too greedily and too deep into that secret area, so if your fellowship does the same, it will not go well. Alright, Phoenix tank for this last part here to get us through the gate. Make sure Frodo doesn't die. He gets to scary low health. So if Frodo dies, as you've probably read in the intro a few times, everybody dies. The only way to avoid that is another secret where if Boromir kills Frodo, he can actually take the ring. And I consider that to be actually an easier run. If you close the Frodo slot, let Boromir kill him, Boromir is a bit less fragile than Frodo, so I tend to find that to be easier. But it is a secret that, I mean, you wouldn't really find out unless you knew it, because you don't want to kill Frodo normally. Unless you have a griefing Boromir, you wouldn't find out. Which actually, unlike the Gimli secret, which I think is more logical, the Boromir has killed Frodo many more times than the Gimli secret. That guy bought an extra Tome of Power. I will take it. And now here is the last wave coming through. And I will show you all possibly the most fun secret. I think. Probably the most impactful secret. A lot of these are just little minor things. But here is what you do. Gandalf versus Balrog. So that happened because I cast my, what do I call it, Holy Light? I think it's all called Holy Light, or Light of the Maiar, something like that. If you cast that on the Balrog, he says, you shall not pass. And then you let the Balrog kill you and tell your allies not to help you. And then you come back as Gandalf the White. So that Resurrect spell is something Pippin and Legolas normally have. It's not just unique to him, but some of his spells are slightly better. His heal has a lower cooldown. The best part about him is that rainbow stuff, which is a multi-hit attack. And I desynced. That was all the patience I had for that night to do Balin's Tomb. So if you want to see what happens at the end of the forest fight, go check out the map. Reforged introduced some good things to the Warcraft 3 community, including a higher player base, but they did not do great justice to custom games or the campaign. They introduced desyncs, and there's not much I can do. Depending on what patch comes out for Warcraft 3, different parts of the map desync at different times. This happens to other maps as well. It used to be when you cast Holy Light on the Balrog himself, well, it used to be that there was no problem, and then at some point there was a patch and it used to desync you. And now there's, I think in 2 games ago, someone else got desynced around that forest area. It happens to one person maybe a third of the time, so I got kind of unlucky. Hopefully they fix it someday. In the meantime, I hope you check out the map. If you've played before, when you were a kid, or even more recently, let me know in the comments. I'd love to reminisce with you. And until next time.